Hey there, it's me, Heather, your neighborhood yoga enthusiast, and I wanted to pop on here and do just a little bit of a Niyama, sort of honoring. There have been so many times during this past week and a half, going on 2 weeks now, that I've felt so grateful to have these studies in my back pocket. And although I feel really slow and kind of clunky when it comes time to applying them, I still very much feel a deep sense of gratitude that I'm familiar with these qualities. And so I just thought that I would get on here and sort of offer up what I can in terms of those gentle reminders for so many of you who I know, just like myself, love and appreciate the niyamas as we understand them with our limited understanding. And the offering here today from me is really about sort of saying this is that reminder of how they move through me and are interpreted through my own bias and lack of understanding. And so I hope that you take them, kind of think about them as being little gifts or jewels that are really meant for you to take and kind of polish like stones. Go and do your research, go and look for ways to better understand and kind of embody these qualities, because I think they really help us so much in humanity for what they're worth. So the reminder that we are studying the branch of yoga, the classical yoga, again, as we understand it, this limb called the Niyama, the Niyamas. There are 5 of them, and they are these thought to be kind of these qualities that somebody interested on the yogic path might adopt in terms of developing this kind of self-care and relationship with the self. So remembering that the yamas are sort of all about our relationship with each other and relationship ultimately to the great earth mother. The niyamas are really kind of about that, turning that attention inward and getting to know this one right here, better and better. So we're calling the niyamas these inner observances for soulful living. And I'm just going to run briefly through the 5 of them. Again, just as gentle reminders, maybe this is your first time hearing about this. Go do your research. There are so many wonderful teachers out there. There's also some really wonderful and interesting controversy around the authentication of the niyamas, and a lovely opportunity to kind of step in and look at the Indian culture and history in terms of the Hindu sort of experience and what it is like for them to kind of see yoga in this way move all throughout the world. Saucha, S-A-U-C-H-A, is often translated to mean purity. And we've been really looking at it. We got to have about a week at the studio where we looked at it as this idea of self-care that leads to self-love, that leads to self-esteem, that leads to kind of this idea that, yes, I am worthy of my awakening. So the small ways that we can take care of ourselves. I'm getting up every morning, I'm taking care of my body, I'm brushing my teeth, I'm doing my push-ups, I'm doing my meditation. I definitely had Fritos for breakfast this morning. So there's always going to be room for improvement. But Saucha is really about saying, even if I fake it till I make it, I'm worthy of the time to clean my body and to sort of present my best self for my day. It's a great way to start the day wherever I am. I can make some small improvement, drinking water, opening a window to look outside. It doesn't have to be a series of expensive, vitamins that you take. It's the small, simple steps that over time, days, months, weeks, years, that we sort of learn to appreciate and care for this one being who is in our ultimate care. The second niyama is santosha, which is most commonly translated to mean contentment. And although I feel like this used to be definitely my favorite, I really dislike it right now. But that gentle reminder that that contentment is really about surrendering to the present moment, and everything that goes along with that. So all the feelings that go along with that. And that quote that we've said before, that kind of anxiety lives best in the future and in the past, but it doesn't really thrive in the present moment. So oftentimes, if I give myself permission to be very present, and it takes a lot of tools and techniques to arrive there, even for a short period of time, or we're lucky if we get to kind of be in the present for a short time. But this idea that contentment is really about being there, and about saying, I'm noticing what is, and it may be very uncomfortable and very scary, but I'm recognizing that there is value to me resting in the present moment. I'm recognizing there is value. So contentment. And I'm thinking about this in terms of even this time at home under quarantine, thinking about ways that help you to sort of feel that sense of contentment. Is it a warm cup of tea? Is it reaching out to a friend? Is it asking for some quiet time? Is it taking a walk? You know, many of us, I'm here in my bathroom. I've got a beautiful bathtub behind me. We're so fortunate. And so rather than kind of, keeping our brow furrowed and forgetting about all these wonderful things that we have access to, really using our privilege and using the resources that we have available to us, because we have so much more than so many, to build that quality of contentment in our own lives, knowing that it will ripple out and have benefit to those who don't have access to the things that we have access to. So that in some way is a way that we can we can offer our support, is by becoming present. Tapas, T-A-P-A-S, tapas most often translated to mean enthusiasm or fire in the belly. It's that sort of get up and get going, that I think of this as part of being the body part of the niyamas, of not only exercise, but of a big stretch, of feeling kind of the body has to take action. That is part of the system. And so recognizing things that make us feel joyful, things that make us feel interested, things that make us feel passionate, and learning how to kind of tap into that. And maybe it's not what we thought we would love, or what we thought we would feel called to do, but it can be a really interesting journey to kind of move toward that which we feel passionate about or enthusiastic about. This idea that there is some medicine there, and that sometimes it takes a little bit of that kind of churning to get ourselves up and moving, or the opposite, right? To get ourselves seated and quiet. I know during times of unrest like this, my body will just go. I'll be doing laundry, I'll be cleaning, and I have to do the opposite of taking a moment to not move, to see sort of what's coming up in the mind, and to be with myself in the present moment. We have svadhyaya, which is most commonly translated to mean self-study or self-reflection. This is about looking at sacred texts, looking at our own behaviors. So this kind of like academic part of the niyamas that gives us the information that we need to kind of move forward. So discernment, but really it's about kind of gathering information from other people, from sources, and there's also this idea here that it's also about witnessing ourselves. So that svadhyaya, self-study, is not only actually getting out a book and jotting some notes and using the highlighter and kind of contemplating what these ancient wise ones might have been trying to get me to understand, but also I'm witnessing myself. I'm watching myself move through the current of my day, noticing my mood, noticing the way that I respond. So svadhyaya is both of those qualities. And then finally, we come to the end of the one that I find the most curious and mysterious, Ishvar Pranadhana, most commonly translated to mean surrender or devotion. And we can use the word God here. And if that doesn't feel right to you, thinking about maybe I'm not the most important thing in the entire universe. This idea that I am part of this web of interconnectedness. And what is it like to notice that quality of surrender, to devote myself to something that I am curious about or that I feel is worthy of my time and my energy? Otherwise, we would just be sort of flitting all around, kind of being caught up in the next fancy thing to come around. So Ishvar Pranadhan, I think, is really about giving ourselves permission to take root in the teachings, and to consider that there is this ever powerful energy that is sort of all pervasive. And I think that this is really the quality that's about the heart. We could say Ishvara Pranadhan is about the heart. We could say Svadhyaya is about the mind. We could say Tapas is about the body. So thinking really about Ishvar being the heart, that kind of devotional, emotional energy of the heart. I think that's it for now. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that you all continue to take care, and we'll catch up very soon. Let me know if you have any thoughts or ideas or questions about this offering, and just wanted you to know that you're not alone, and that we are here. Even if I have to hide out in my bathroom to say hey, that's just fine, and I'm sure that you're probably feeling like you need to do the same thing. Reach out, take care, we'll talk to you soon.